Hey there, Start here. We're continuing Wondrous Flash Lightning's Tour of Destruction. So we've done all the 12 types trials now. We're moving on to the Purgatory trials, also known as the Grace trials. So those are also found in the Nemesis tab. Advent of Purgatory, and there are currently 4 of these. There should be 8 eventually. Like theoretically, there will eventually be 8, one for each of the elements. I'm not actually sure if they've finished these in JP. I don't think they have. These are, of course, trials that came over from the JP side. So I honestly don't know if these will ever be finished, but for now, there are 4 of them. And for those of you that have never done these, sort of the gimmick behind each of these is that each of these has a respective element where there is a global field that amps that element by 100%. Now, you know, people often think that you have to bring like a fire unit to Grace of Flame, or you have to bring a lightning unit to Grace of Lightning. Not true. You can use any element that you want. It's simply more advantageous to use the element for that respective trial, because you get that 100% amp right out of the gate for, you know, for the whole fight. All of them are three-wave battles. Some of them have different races for each wave. Like Grace of Flame has humans for the first 2 waves, and then the final wave is a machine. Grace of Lightning, they're all machines. Grace of Wind, they're all dragons. And then Grace of Darkness, I think it's the first wave is human, the second wave is beast, and the third wave is dragon. So Grace of Darkness is the only one that actually has a different race for every wave. Now, obviously, Wondrous Flash Lightning loves the Grace of Lightning trial. That's the easiest one for her. So we're going to start with that one since that's the easy one. And then I think what I'll probably do is I'll do Grace of Lightning, then Darkness, then Flame, then Wind. I think Wind might be the toughest one for her, mostly because the final boss absorbs lightning. So we absolutely cannot use lightning element on that one. But yeah, we'll get to it. I'm going to do these one at a time, as opposed to like the 12 types where I did multiple clears in one video, just because since these are 3-wave battles, each one's probably going to take a little bit longer for the sake of your sanity, my sanity, and that way you're not sitting and watching like an hour-long video. I'm just going to do each trial one at a time. So we're going to start with Grace of Lightning. I'm hopefully going to get through all these this week so that I can get all these done before maintenance, because I suspect that Clash of Wills is coming this week, but we'll see. Now, all of the Grace trials have the exact same mission parameters, so you know, and these are a great source of lapis. You get 500 just for completing it, 1,000 for doing it in 30 turns or less, 1,500 for doing it in 25 turns or less. So if you do it in less than 25 turns, that's 3,000 lapis, and it's pretty easy to do these in less than 25 turns, even though there are 3 waves. Usually the first and second wave are very, very quick, and then the final one's the one that usually takes a little bit of time. But yeah, getting this done in 25 turns or less is fairly easy to do. 20 turns or less is, you know, you get an emblem, which is pretty useless. It's for bragging rights. It's not necessary. All right, so really don't worry about that one. Just getting it done in 25 turns or less is the goal here. Now, for the Grace of Lightning, you don't need anything too specific with a friend lightning. You can basically pick a random friend lightning, but if you can find one that has death resist, that is sort of critical. And well, I don't want to say it's critical. It just makes the final wave a little bit easier, because the boss on the last wave likes to do AoE death, and he'll do it twice. And so bringing a friend with death resist is definitely going to be easy. Now, Gert, he actually built this one for me for Bialcua, but it didn't get a chance to use it. So I will use Gert's Lightning. Thank you so much for building this for me, Gert. I will use Gert's Lightning for this one because Bialcua also does AoE death. So I know Gert's Lightning has death resist on it, and he used Blizzard Orb for his death resist, which is perfect. You could also use Kurasame's STMR, which I have on mine, and I'll show you in just a second. So here's my friend Lightning. So, you know, he definitely went all out on the Clash gear. It's definitely not required of your friend unit to go all out. It's not even necessarily required to have death resist. I'll show you how to get around it if you have a friend unit that doesn't have death resist. It's not like it's not an absolutely must have, but yeah, it definitely makes life easier. And so yeah, he basically just went all out and built a nice strong lightning. Now lightning hits machine killers pretty much innately, so as long as she's got 300 LB damage boost, full machine killers in both forms, yep, good to go there. That's all we're really concerned about. All right, so thank you, Gert, for building this wonderful Wondrous Flash Lightning. Now the rest of the team, Locke is here as our evade provoke unit, safety bit for death resist. You can kind of ignore the rest of this gear, he doesn't really need it. All right, just some evade provoke gear there, so that yeah, he'll provoke any single target physicals. All right, he's really just here for the 90% breaks, so I have fully crowned his force hunt. I definitely recommend doing it for trials. Like, you know, I used him on the 12 types trials. I use him a lot on the Grace trials. It's definitely worth it because it's a 90% defense break with full uptime. You just can't beat that. And it's AoE, so if there are multiple enemies on the field, he's breaking them all for 90% defense. Really, really nice. Probably one of the best uses of gold crowns in the game. Not gonna lie. All right. Ash is going to be our tank. So when I first did all these trials, I think I used Abigail, and a lot of people used Abigail because Abigail had like just come out, I think, when these trials, these Grace trials started. So a lot of people were using Abigail to tank. I'm going to use Ash on this one, and I'll probably use her on as much as I can because she does get the leader skill from Wondrous Flash Lightning, which is nice because she is a rebel category. Now, so Ash is definitely well suited for this one. She even has machine killers in her Brave Shift form, which we will use. That's pretty awesome. Vermilion flag there for death resist. So that is 7-star or 5-star aces. STMR should be easy to acquire. Luminous closes there just for LB fill because it does 8 LB fill per turn, which is nice. That's really helpful because Ash's LB is 90 crysts, even at full level 40. Very expensive LB, and it's nice to just try and refill that if we can. All right, and then just basic bulk gear here. You don't have to really worry about elements or anything like that. Just a lot of bulk. In a Brave Shift form, exactly the same gear. All right. My lightning is I didn't go super all out on my lightning, so we're using Lightning's clothes, which is the event gear from her event the other day. Red Hellebore is, you know, easily acquirable hat. Kirasame's STMR is another great STMR with death resist on it. Magister's Ring for chain cat boost. And then yeah, just whatever you need to get her 300% machine, 300% LB damage. And then this is the card you get for an EX3 Elena. Pretty much same in a Brave Shift form. You do not have to worry about death resist in the Brave Shift form. So that is one thing, because you're only going to experience the death in her normal form. She won't be in her Brave Shift form. She's going to be out of her trance at that point. And so you don't have to worry about death resist in her Brave Shift form. All right. But I would say if you're putting up a friend lightning on your friends list for other people, put death resist on them anyways. Like the one on my friends list has death resist in both forms, because there are a lot of trials out there these days that have death. Like I think 3 out of the 4 Grace trials have AoE death at some point. Bialcula has AoE death. So it's good. I think it's good practice to go ahead and gear your friend units with death resist, just because it's a real pain in the butt if you can't find a friend with death resist, and it just makes things a little bit more difficult. Oh, forgot about Sylvie. Let's do Sylvie and Sakura. Sylvie is just double Blizzard Orb for death resist and for counters. Pretty much same thing in both forms. You see, she does have perfect provocation, but Locke is going to be doing most of the provoking. You could honestly have Sylvie do the provoking. You could just move her up into slot 1 if you wanted to, and have her do the provoke. That's fine too. You just got to make sure she's full evade. And then Sakura. So this is just kind of a bulk build. Vermilion flag for the death resist. She doesn't need Sword of Kings. That was on there for a previous strategy that I was using. You can put anything you want in place of Sword of Kings. Bahamut synergies are nice for making sure you always have Esper Gauge fill. This is just a basic bulk card to make sure she's not too squishy. Same gear in both forms there. Alright. Alright. So, yeah, let's get in here and let's see how we get this one done nice and quick. Alright, so there's the field that boosts lightning by 100%, so there's a 100% field. Excuse me a second, just gotta blow my nose. Alright, and I'll show you that field if it will show it to you. Come on, show me the field. I don't know why it's not going to show me. Long press. Alright, it doesn't want to show me the field, but it is 100%. Come on, come on. There it is. Alright, finally. So there it is. Boost lightning, physical, and magic damage by 100%. So it's the same thing for all the other ones, just whichever element it is. So like Grace of Fire, it's 100% fire. You kind of get the idea. Alright, so this one is, the first wave is very squishy. This is going to be a first turn kill. Locke just does his breaks. Alright, Ash is going to shift. Use her Brave Shifted LB because it does a full buff, LB damage buff, machine killer buff for the whole party. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Alright, Sylvie, on this turn is just going to do, honestly, all she has to do here is Bolt Egg Basket to imbue and imperil. So I'm not even going to do anything else. That's all she's got to do. Sakura just summons Rama. So for all of these Grace Trials, the bosses have 100% elemental resist across the board, so you still need to bring good imperils and imperil fields to, you know, deal significant damage. That's definitely helpful. So that's what Sakura is doing here. All right. And then our lightnings are going to go ahead and shift and just do their LBs. All right. So, yep. So we should have a good imperil there. Yep. So the 120 plus the 50 is 170. So you see it's a 70% total imperil because the boss starts with 100% resistance to all elements. 90% break. Looking good. This should be a nice, quick, and clean kill here on the first turn. I think the first one has like 7.5 billion. So let's see how much overkill we did. All right, yep, about 2 billion worth of overkill. Now the second boss has, I think, like 16 billion, so we're definitely not going to do a first turn kill on this guy. This one is much bulkier than the first boss. All right, now on this turn, Ash is going to do some cover, and we'll do Power Break, Magic Break to break the boss's attack and mag. Locke will go ahead and do his Force Hunt for the 90% break. All right, Sylvie's going to do Bolt Egg Basket, Compassionate Knight, and Burgeoning Defense. All right, Sakura can do True Thunderstone, status, no, she doesn't need to do status, I'm mixing myself up. So we're going to do Paladin's Offense, all right, Compassionate Knight, and Burgeoning Defense, because the boss is going to counter all of our physical attacks, and so we want to make sure we have good mitigations for that. Sakura is going to do True Thunderstone for the Imbue, Burst for the Imperil, and Protectica for physical mitigations for the physical attacks that Ash cannot cover. Okay. Okay. All right, so this one will probably do like 30 to 40% off the boss's health. and then we'll do a setup turn next turn, and we'll do another burst on turn 3 to kill. Yep, and that's fine. That's fine. Honestly, on our burst on turn 3, we're probably going to do enough damage to kill the boss. Alright, so there are the physical attacks. That's what the Sylvie's General Mitt and the physical mitigation are for. Alright, now we'll do Whole World is Against Us, How I Live is Up to Me, and you can just do, like, I don't know, Crushing Blow or something, deal some damage. Alright, Whole World, How I Live is Up to Me, Crushing Blow. Alright, Sakura on this turn can... she doesn't really need to do anything on this turn, to be honest, so she can just guard. Sylvie on this turn. Alright, she can do... she'll start a lightning ramp. Alright, so we have a... we'll only have a 75% amp, but that's still really nice. And then we can do a Paladin's Defense for the Mirage. And we'll just do Clever Paladin Strike, I guess. Just hit the boss. Alright, Ash can shift. She'll do a 250% killer on... we'll do it on Gert's Lightning, because his is stronger than mine. Yeah, we can do Locke's LB for the 90% attack and mag breaks. Okay. Alright, so now we just do another LB. The boss is, basically just sitting there begging us to kill it. We'll have Sylvie do a Brave Shifted LB. We'll have Ash do her LB as well, so that my lightning gets a 150% killer. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and do those. Okay, should be good to go. Yep, looking good. Awesome. Alright, let's kill this thing. Boom. 17. Okay, so yeah, we did enough to kill the boss right there. I'm not gonna assume that your lightnings are strong enough to do that, because you could potentially do a 2-turn clear on that boss if you did your setup turn on turn 1 and then your burst on turn 2. You could theoretically do 2 turns on that boss if you have 2 strong lightnings, but I'm not going to assume that. But a 3-turn on that second wave, should definitely kill the boss, no matter, even if your lightnings aren't nearly as strong. All right, final boss, Chaotic Engine. So our lightnings are done with their trance. You can still try to do a little bit of damage here on turn 1, and so I'll see what I can do here, and I'll try to do a little bit of damage. All right, so we'll have Sylvie go ahead and do Paladin's Offense. We'll do a Bolt Egg Basket and a Compassionate Knight. All right, for ailment, stop, resist, all that jazz. Sakura on this turn can do... What should our Sakura do on this turn? Yeah, we can do a Burst for the Imperil. We'll do a Protectica and a Shelga. Well, actually, no, you know what she's going to do? She's going to chain. That's right. We're going to shift our Sakura so that she can chain. So we can do one little burst. 2, 3. she'll chain with my lightning. Okay. And then Ash is going to do her normal form LB. All right. Because that does an 88% attack and mag break, 70% general mitigation, 85% magic mitigation for the party. Okay. Yeah, Locke does his force hunt. All right, Sylvie, just double checking myself. Yeah, Paladin's offense, Bolt Egg Basket, and Paladin's. We'll do Paladin's defense for any physical damage that the boss does on this turn, so that we're miraging that. And then any magic damage will be mitigated thanks to Ash's normal LB. All right. Yeah, let's do all that. Now, this probably isn't going to do a whole lot of damage to the boss. It might do like 15 or 20%, and then the boss is going to heal itself by 10% at some point. But, you know, it's nice to do a little bit of chip damage on turn 1. Okay, yeah, we did like 15%. So when the boss heals itself, you know, it's gonna go back up to like 95. All right, so there is the AoE death. All right, we resisted it because everyone is death immune. And so now the boss has put up Mighty Guard. So honestly, we can't really do much of anything to the boss at this point until turn 5. So we just kind of sit around and wait. Yeah, I'm just gonna sit here and guard. Sylvie can just do Compassionate Knight, Elemental Petals, Elemental Vines. Ash will now activate her magic cover, and we'll do Shelga and I don't know, Power Break. Locke can guard. Sakura doesn't really need to do anything either. She can, yeah. I mean, we could summon Ramua again just to make sure that we maintain the Imperil field. Might as well. If your friend Lightning wasn't death resist and they died on that turn, you could just have your Lightning cast full life on them. It's very simple. Alright, so we still got 2 turns. Now, here's another thing. So if your friend Lightning is not death resistant, have Sylvie do a normal attack on this turn. That will give them re-raise. Alright, because I think the boss is going to do another death on this turn. Or it could be next turn. Is it next turn? I think it's this turn he does another AoE death. So yeah, you can have your Sylvie do a normal attack on this turn to give the friend unit re-raise. Alright, so that's one way to kind of get around that. I'm going to have my Lightning do an LB now so that we maintain that 145% Imperil for the burst turn on turn 5. And yeah, everybody else can just guard again. Like I said, you can have Sylvie do a normal attack on this turn. Did the boss dispel itself? It did. So we do need to make sure we reapply our attack and mag breaks. So power break, magic break. We'll do another cover. Locke could do his LB for the 90% breaks, but I mean, it's not really necessary. I mean, we might as well, I guess, huh? Let's go ahead and do it. So yeah, I'll just have Sylvie do a normal attack on this turn. Alright, so there's the 10% heal. Yep, there's the death, yep. So if your friend was not death resistant, then Sylvie's re-raise would have brought them back, which is fine, because now we're just doing a setup turn on this turn anyways. Alright, so now our lightnings will do Whole World is Against Us, How I Live is Up to Me, and Elemental Burst for the 150 amp. Alright, Whole World is Against Us, How I Live is Up to Me, Elemental Burst. Sakura is just going to hang out. I don't think there's anything she needs to do here. Yeah, she can just hang out. Sylvie's going to shift and start a lightning ramp. This way we have a 100% amp the turn after our big burst, just in case we don't kill the boss. There's a good chance we kill the boss on turn 5. If we don't, and there's a little bit of HP left over, you'll have a 100% amp on turn 6, and you get one more chance to kill the boss. Okay, so we'll do that, and then we'll just do, I guess, double Clever Paladin. Yeah, Ash can just do another cover. Oh, actually, no. Ash on this turn is going to provide the 250% killer to one of... I'll give it to Gert again. All right, Locke is going to hang out. His 90% break will be good next turn. All right, and we should be good to go. All right, so this should be, yeah, like I said, there's a good chance that we kill the boss on this turn. Okay. We'll see if we're left with like 5%, that's fine. You know, we kill the boss next turn. But the thing is, you do have to make sure, because once you pass the 50% threshold, the boss puts up Mighty Guard every 3 turns. And it's a 3-turn duration, which means it is basically permanent forever. And it's very hard to kill the boss once the Mighty Guard goes up permanently. So you basically get 2 turns in a row, because once you pass the 50% threshold, the only thing the boss does is it casts Meteor, which Ash will cover, and then it ends its turn. So you get 1 more turn to do damage, and then after that, he's going to start casting Mighty Guard every 3 turns, and you'll never... Basically, he'll just heal himself back up to full. All right. So you really want to pack as much punch as you can into these next 2 turns. All right, so we should be good to go. Oh, we got to remember the 90% break. Okay. So, should be good. Yep. Looking good there. Looking good there. Awesome. And yeah, Sakura once again can just kind of hang out. We'll just guard her. All right, and let's see how we do. We might kill it. Oh yeah, this thing's dead. All right, so if you don't kill the boss on that turn, just have Sylvie use her I've got your back on your strongest lightning, and then just have you can have Ash chain bolting strike. She can chain Thundara with the other lightning, while the strongest lightning does another LB, and that will almost certainly kill the boss on turn 6. All right, so let's see how we did. Yep, Gert definitely leading the way. He's had the stronger build, and thus got the 250% killer. And there you go. So yeah, Lightning makes quick work out of the Grace of Lightning trial, as she should. It is her favorite element. All right. So that's Grace of Lightning for you. I will get around to the other ones. I'm hoping to get all the Grace trials done with Wondrous Flash Lightning this week before Clash of Wills gets started. All right. So stay tuned for that. The rest will be coming out later, and I'll see you on the other side.